70-year-old unretires and goes back to work, not at his old job, not as a chemist, not as an engineer, not as a politician. No. He goes back to work as an Uber driver. Now, I respect it, because if I had to abandon all of the things that I'm working on entrepreneurial wise, like business, if I, had to, or if I was in a position where we lost our money, our nest egg, so to speak, and whatnot, then guess what? Your boy's going back to work. I don't care who's hiring. I'm going back to work. I used to work in plants back in Baton Rouge. South Louisiana has a lot of plants on the river. And you do these turnarounds, 6 months, 6 weeks, make a good bit of money. Then you just kind of fill in the gap. So I was doing gigs before gigs were popular. It's 10, 15, years ago. And I had this one job, probably one of the worst jobs I had. I used to work at a landfill. And in the landfills, you actually have to lay down these black tarps before you put trash into the earth. And in Louisiana in the summer, I'm telling you, it is hot, it is humid, humidity, because people ask, because I live here in Dallas, feel like, what's humidity like? It just means if you sweat, you don't dry up. You are sweat. You are wet. If it just means there's no drying up. It's always going to be wet. So if you get out here and sweat, you're going to stay wet. And so that's the difference between dry heat and humidity. Humidity, in dry heat, you can sweat, but it'll dry up. In humidity, if you sweat, you're going to stay sweaty. It just won't dry up. That's why people always talking about, I feel like I need to take a shower all day, because you're never dry. That's all it is. Now, here in Dallas, we don't get as much humidity as we were getting back in Baton Rouge. And I'm glad. I'm not complaining about that. I'm okay with that. It does get like to 100 here, but hey, 100 here in dry heat is better than 90 in Baton Rouge in humidity. Good Lord. So, because everywhere you go, you're just sweating all the time. So at least here you don't have to do that as much. So, but yeah, so this guy, and it's probably more than him, I'm sure, because this is the time where, not the time of year, but the time economically where people are going to be financially challenged and they're going to have to go back to work. Again, I have all the respect in the world for people. In fact, I encourage people to keep their minds busy. Like if you don't want to do hard work, that's fine. But as you get older, do some type of work so that you can continue to keep your mind moving. Because I know it's cliche, and I say it, and I tend to believe it too, and that is that once you stop working and stop doing stuff, then it just feels like people just pass away sooner. I don't know the correlation, but so this guy goes back to work as an Uber driver because he's in financial perils. And so, me, I call it financial purgatory, but I always try to talk to you all about this and give you the real perspective that, hey, this is a real thing, that 2 years ago, whenever the government was pouring out all of this money, stimulating your personal economy, that money was going to come back to bite you. And because most people are probably going, well, it's just a $1,200 check. It ain't that bad. And I could use it. Of course you can. If they fire you from your job, shut your job down where you can't earn a living, now you have to come home and wait for the government, Big Daddy, Big Mama to take care of you. And so now you've got people, the government has developed intentionally a welfare state where people depend on you, the government. People depend on me, the government. So you don't want to work hard? Don't worry about it. John, your neighbor next door, he's going to go to work. He's middle class. We're going to tax the hell out of him, and we'll write you a check. Now, you won't be able to live as well as John, but we're going to take care of you. So you can be as lazy as you want to be. You can not be productive. You can do whatever you want to. You could be a professional chiller, and you can Netflix and chill all day long. We're going to cut you a check. In fact, if you go add some kids to the family, we'll cut you a bigger check. And that's what welfare looks like, and that's why it's so devastating, because of the long-term effects. Mentally changing people's mindset to where they're like, look, if I work, I make $30,000 a year, but if I'm on welfare, I make 20, but I don't have to do anything. Give me the 20 and the laziness. Dangerous thing they did a couple years ago with that stimulus. Now it's election time, so I assume they'll put another stimulus package out there in the universe and try to get you interested in voting for them. Don't fall for it. It's the cost that you see at the gas pump is because of the stimulus. The cost you see at on the house rent, stimulus. The price of the houses going up when barely anybody can afford a house, stimulus. Cars going up, can't afford a used car because it now costs the same as a new car, stimulus. What do I mean? When you flood the economy with money, real money, well, it's fake money because it came from nowhere, but it ends up being real money that you can utilize. Now, all of this money is in the same economy chasing the same goods, so it's supply and demand. So demand for product drive the price up. So when people couldn't afford houses, they turned to rent. And then when the renters found out, the apartments and all that found out that people couldn't afford houses and they were going to be forced to rent, then the rent prices went up. Hey, you don't have a choice, so you can't afford a house? Okay, I'll be right back. And they go and say, what's the rent on this one bedroom? Oh, it's $1,200. Let's make it $1,800. Yeah, you sure? Yeah, that guy don't have a choice. He can't afford a house. He's got to come to us. And now, look at what you got. You got complete devastation all around the country. Dallas, Texas, and Texas, a year ago, 2 years ago, was a very, very affordable state. Now, it's still affordable compared to others, but whenever we first moved here, we had a one-bedroom apartment that was $900 a month. Was it a bad apartment? No. It was a good apartment in a great spot, in a great neighborhood. That same apartment today, the last time I heard, was $1,500 for the same apartment. So that's almost, that's almost double, almost. It was like 75% increase, and they did nothing to it except raise the rent, just raise the numbers. So why am I saying all this? What does that mean for you? That means that you need to be thinking about your life 5, 10 years from now. You need to be thinking about, oh crap, I'm 20, 25, 30, 35. What's my life going to look like in the next 5 years? What am I working on? What am I working towards? How's my money stacked up? How do I put myself in the best position possible to live the life I want to live? Because again, most people, 90% of people live the life they have to live. 10% of people live the life they want to live. I want to live the life I want to live. Life is short. You look up one day and you're 10 years older, and now your leg hurt. You get injuries when you sleep. I wake up out of the bed sometimes and I feel like I've been playing basketball while I was sleeping. I'm like, what is this? Right? And, and I think about those things. Just not long ago, I had a newborn baby girl in Louisiana. And now Shania is 24 years old. 24. I had her way too young. Don't ever do that. But I was a kid when I had my first daughter. But Shania's 24, and now I have my youngest kid today. Renly Rain is 7 months. So go figure. They don't have much in common at all. The age gap is so huge. But you've got to think about those things and sit down and say, all right, let's say the rent prices don't go up, because these are the conversations you got to have with yourself. All right, you got to sit down and say, all right, let's say the rent prices don't go down. Let's say the house prices don't go down. Let's say the car prices don't go down. Gas stays the same. Everything stays where it is. What am I going to do to make sure I can have enough money to live how I want to live without financing everything and going into bad consumer debt? Right? How can I position myself to change my future? I want to have a family. I want to be able to afford a house. All right. It's 2023. When do you want to buy a house? The next 5 years. Okay, good. Now we got a game plan and we got a timeline. So for the next 5 years, I need you to work on your credit, stack some money up so you could buy a house. Well, if you watch my other channel, I'm not a big fan of buying houses, especially not overpriced houses, especially not with your paycheck. But I'm not gonna get into that because I'm gonna catch a lot of flack on here like I do on my other channel. They call me stupid, dumb, cereal box degree, everything. And if they just listen. But anyway, the other channel is Minority Money Mindset. I got some controversial videos over there, but I don't care. You don't hurt my feelings. I'm here to open your eyes and enlighten you and say, hey, you're looking at this the wrong way. You might want to try a different perspective. You might want to look at it from that way. You say you saving all your money to buy a house? May I ask why? Because I want to be a homeowner. Well, why? Who told you that was the goal? Who told you that was the thing to do that solidifies you in this world? Was part of the American dream? Who told you that? See, I just question everything. Why? Why? Because my son, he's 3, and I'll be like, hey, Wes, it's time to go upstairs and take a bath. Why? Hey, dude, turn off that light. It's too bright. Why? All he wants to know is why. So I'm like, why? I need to know why too. You know, why should I overpay for a house? This house was 300 grand 2 years ago. Now it's 600. Why? Why would I double what I got to pay you? Double debt to live in this liability that they call an asset. All right, let me stop. But anyway, you need to start asking yourself questions that's going to get you through the next 5 years, because we don't know when this is going to end. I hope and pray that we get new leadership, new president in the White House, and that'll help. But I'm not betting on that. I'm trying to do what's best for me. Somebody might get in and do whatever they want to do, just like they all do. Hey, I know I said that, man, on the campaign trail, but I can't really do that. I got to do something else. I'm working on something over here. I'll get back to you. Just like Black Lives Matter was like loving on black people. Then all of a sudden, after their candidate got elected, you never heard from them again. Kamala Harris dancing, loving black people. All of a sudden, she was gone. They don't even talk to you no more. So let's be smart. Hey, these people are going to try to use us and whatever they can use to get us to vote for them. But they don't back any of it up. They promise things they don't deliver. Let's start holding them accountable. In fact, we need a speedy, I know we have like speedy trials for criminals. Where's the speedy election? What's being done to this country is criminal. Do you know that the first thing the Biden administration did when they got into office is cut off the Keystone pipelines? First thing they did. Go look it up. What did that do? Well, you tell me. Look at your gas price. You tell me. So, anyway, there you go. I ran it for long enough. But y'all be blessed. Y'all have a wonderful day. If you like the content, hit thumbs up. If you like the channel, hit subscribe. If you have a question or comment, drop it in the comments, man. Let's go. Let's chat. So, appreciate the views. Appreciate everybody. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. And peace.